Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of UnSKripted. I'm here with my two good friends, Dirty Dutch Mantell and Bill Apter. We advertised a fourth person.
Did he make it?
Well, here's the news. Okay, he's here, ladies and gentlemen. He's here.
Very good.
Yes, indeed.
I have never done a podcast with anyone in bed.
Very nice. I hope that you never do a podcast with anyone in bed because it will not be a PG show anymore.
That's OnlyFans.
Yes.
They got a website for that.
This is an interesting concept.
Well, there's a lot of interesting correlations between pro wrestling and porn. So, maybe we should do more pro wrestling in bed.
On the next episode of UnSKripted. Well, Jake is in the building. How are you, my man? How are you?
Chris, very nice to meet you. Thank you for having me on. What a pleasure.
Yeah.
Dutch.
Hey, man, you got some stuff to say, man. How about you say it on the air, man? You want to pitch somebody's job. So why don't you say it on the air, man? I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it too. I think they need to know what you have to say about Dutch.
Well, I'm just trying to stand up for my man, Dirty Dutch Mantell. 50 years experience in the business. He could teach you more in a car ride than you could learn in a wrestling show. He told me that himself, very himself one night. And so, look, I love him. He is a treasure in the pro wrestling business. And anyone listening to this should endear and attach themselves to Dirty Dutch Mantell if you want to be successful.
Let me ask you a question.
Listen to that one higher up. Listen to those words.
Before we went on the air, you said that when you were traveling with Dutch, he was the DJ in the car, and I asked you what kind of music he played, and I said probably country, and he took a little offense, saying, "Hey, because I'm down south, I don't just listen to country. I live here in New York and Philadelphia. I love country music."
You know what's funny is that he played a lot of Too Short. It was weird.
Really? Too short. Is that right?
No, I'm kidding. Look, this guy has not only a knowledge of the wrestling business, but he knows what good music is. He played classic rock and roll. He played folk music. He got me into what are the brothers, Dutch? The
Abbott Brothers.
Abbott Brothers, yes.
Yep.
Look, musicians, like good musicians, is what he knows. And the funny thing is he always told me, he's like, look, Jack, if I could play the steel guitar like that, you could kiss my ass goodbye.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad I wasn't driving, because I'm a Barry Manilow guy.
Apter is very, very Manilow. Yes, indeed. Jake, if you do me a favor and see if you can turn your phone horizontally and see.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that
there? We go.
That's much better.
By the way, I don't want people to think that I'm on the other side of your bed here.
We just had to save that for OnlyFans. I mean, hey,
Bill, how's this mustache looking, Bill?
Oh, it tickled.
See that?
Very nice.
It's out there.
Now you're tickling with mustache. All right, we have a lot of people in the chat right now. Of course, go ahead and hit those super chats for a Q&A. I'm sure that y'all have a lot to say to my man Jake Hager here. So let me start off with the first. Can I bring up a real quick
question?
Yes, go ahead, Bill.
This incident that happened. We're talking, Jake, you with MMA. This incident that happened at the indie show in California, where an MMA fighter shot on another opponent over the weekend. You're all familiar with that?
Yes, Rampage Jackson's son, Roger Jackson. Yes.
So, Jake, do you know the details of that?
I'm not real familiar with the situation. It seemed like they gave him a spot to make a debut, and he overshot it. Am I wrong with that?
He wasn't. I don't think it was a debut. I think he was just there with AJ, one of the guys in Knox Pro, and he just kind of brought him there. And then Psycho Stu hit it with a beer can. Thought it was, he thought it was one of the boys. Thought it was a part of a wrestling angle, just like the boys do. Hit him with a beer can. He thought it was an angle. He actually said during the time when he first met him, he said, "Are you going to sell it?" And he didn't sell it. And so he thought he was just one of the boys, and there's going to be a wrestling angle. There was cameras around, so he thought he was going to take advantage of it. And that led to AJ with the cowboy hat saying that he needs to get his receipts. He doesn't even really, Raja, he's not a wrestler, so he doesn't even know what that means. Getting a receipt to a wrestler is, I'm going to give you a shot, to the face, or I'm going to give you one shot, or do something that's real, but I'm not going to do a double leg, which he ended up doing, and he ended up punching him 23 times, which caused him to choke on his blood and his teeth, and lose just about all of his teeth, and have to go to the emergency room and have no recollection, and be in really, really bad shape. And so that's the short version.
An MMA fighter didn't follow the wrestling lore, and he shot on his opponent.
My question is this: why was he even there?
Great question.
Yeah.
Who brought him? Didn't the cowboy guy bring him?
He brought him there. Yeah.
The cowboy guy, and he got teed off. So this is what I heard. And to make it up to him, they said he could run in the ring, go in the ring after this guy, but they didn't tell him anymore.
Yeah.
Why don't they just tell him?
He doesn't know what a receipt is. I mean,
No, and hey, that guy's got problems, big time problem. He was on the phone to his daddy, a bunch of people all night long, and he talked himself into that mood that he was going to get him back for no reason. And if this goes farther and these criminal charges filed, which I expect will be,
sure.
he has no defense. None.
It's all over the world. I mean, they're covering it worldwide at this point. So,
well, he did beat the crap out of that guy.
He took him out real bad, man. Unfortunately. So let's go over to the tag team that we have on the screen right now. We have formerly known as the All-American American. Did I say American enough, Jake?
One more time.
One more. Yeah.
Yes. Jack Swagger, formerly known as Jack Swagger. Tell us how the union, the pairing of Jack Swagger and Zeb Colter happened backstage.
Oh man, it's a great story. If you subscribe to my OnlyFans page, I can tell you all the details. No, what a unholy union that we made. We were really something special. The really cool part is that it happened very naturally. Triple H,
and in one day,
Triple H was a big fan of Dirty Dutch Mantell, which any smart wrestling fan would be. And he like pulled me aside and he was like, "Hey, do you know who Dirty Dutch Mantell was?" And of course, I lied and I said yes.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I heard the name, but like, to be honest, like I didn't know how accomplished this man was. I had no idea the world heavyweight champion that they were pairing me with. And we would just so happen to be in Nashville, and this was right after the Elimination Chamber, and they wanted to put a mouthpiece with me. And since we were in Nashville, Dutch lived there, and so he came in. And he auditioned. He didn't audition. He already had the part, But like we were trying to find the character. We're trying to find the storyline. We're trying to find the catchphrase. And Dutch brought all of that. He spent about 3 minutes cutting a promo, and then we had We the People. And it was pretty incredible. It was so cool to watch him do his thing and just kind of like take in everything and like, be there for 5 minutes and like not know anybody and be like, "Hey, like I know the wrestling business. This is what it is." And
he's so good at that.
Yep. Very blessed. I can't say enough about it.
It went so viral, We the People. As soon as you two would get in the ring, the fans were right there.
I think that gimmick would work today. It would still work.
It was so cool because like before we would say We the People at the end of the promo, Dutch would insult the town so many different times in so many different ways, and they would boo him while he would do that. But at the end of the promo, they would always say We the People with us, and we were like, we would go backstage and be like, and we'd be like, they still said it. They still said it.
Yeah. Before that, Jake, there was so many different creative decisions that Vince and company tried to put you in. There was the Real American gimmick. There was the ECW championship. There was the cash in on Chris Jericho. There was the US championship. You tagged with Mark Henry at WrestleMania. It was just so many ups and downs and all arounds when it comes to how they booked you. Take us back within any of those, and even as much as you can remember, of the decision making that you were told, of the reason why you were given a push, it was pulled back. Given a push was pulled back. What happened
there? Hey, that's a great question.
It's wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so there were so many things though, as far as just up and down. So, for instance, the ECW run.
To any of the young wrestlers listening, if you want to be successful in this business, you have to learn how to stand up for yourself. And I was never good at that. So that is one thing that I would advise people. Like, I'm very good at performing in the ring. Like, I would dare you to say I had a bad match anytime. But like, standing up for my value and to like my character in the back was hard. It was harder than I could. Like, I can remember when they wanted to break up the Real Americans, and we're sitting there after WrestleMania in New Orleans, where they just where I don't know how many thousands of people chanted "Oos, oh," and then they all put their hands over their heart and they said, "We the people," and we had that great tag match, which is one of my favorites. And the next night on Monday Night Raw, we were told that we were breaking up because who knows what. And I remember we stood there and like we were like, okay, if you break up this dynamic, it's going to change. Like you can't change one part of a group without everything changing. And then, you know, it's like little moments like that where either you have support or you don't. So,
hey, remember that match in New Orleans? That's when they changed the finish right in the middle of the match. Wasn't that there or no?
It was the Miami pay-per-view with the clones.
With the clones or the colognes?
I'm from Oklahoma. I can't pronounce it.
Okay. So I remember coming back from that match. Let me get this in. I remember coming back from that match, Jack, you and Cesaro.
Yep.
And we got halfway back, and I said, and I stopped a minute, and you guys stopped, and I said, guys, you hear that? And you went, hear what? Because the people were doing nothing. I said, exactly. Because we got beat. They wanted us to win, and when we didn't win, their interest was gone. Right or not?
Right or not. And seriously, in the middle of that match, we were in the comeback, and they came over the headset, and the ref told us that they wanted the clones to go over. So Eddie hit a frog splash on me, and we did the 1, 2, 3. It was supposed to be a kick out going to the finish, but we just ended it at the frog splash. And
wow.
And that didn't even make sense. But anyway, as good soldiers, we went ahead and did it.
Let me ask you this.
I always wondered with your career that every time I see you, I always say, this guy's main event material, but they always put you in a group. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. And, you know, I had a lot to learn. So, like, it is what it is. Like, maybe if I would have known more, I could have responded better.
So let me ask you this about the ECW run. Who was booking ECW at the time?
You know, at the time, it was like the introduction program for like new NXT, new FCW guys, and they had the storyline going on where Teddy Long was bringing people up. Mm-hmm. I don't know who exactly was booking it. I know Stephanie was involved a lot with the promos and whatnot. But
how much was Vince involved?
I mean, it was Vince. He was involved with everything. Like, he wanted to be involved with everything. And
he was involved with other things, I guess. Well, I was taking up most of his time. Hey, I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
No, he was a big baseball fan. He was very involved with his fantasy baseball league.
There you go. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So they found enough talent in you because you still are uber talented. So they made you they said, hey man, we're going to put the rocket on him and make him the ECW champion. Did you follow ECW at all before donning that very ugly looking championship? By the way, it was just some like silver coin looking ECW championship that was really weird looking. Did you follow ECW at all?
I don't want to get too much heat for this, but Dutch knows this. Like, I was not a pro wrestling fan growing up. I was a wrestling guy since I was 5 years old. Yeah. And so, like, honestly, I didn't understand the beauty. I didn't understand the beauty. I didn't understand the entertainment of it. Like, I always thought, like, I really thought that it was real growing up, but I was like, how could they do that? And then it was just kind of like turned me off towards
well, that's good, because that meant the wrestlers were doing their job.
Exactly. Like, because I was questioning it. So, yeah.
So cool.
I asked Jack one day, I said, do you know who Ric Flair is? No. Or did you know who he was before? No. What about Bill Watts? He's from Oklahoma. No. I went, what the? But you watched it as a kid, right? But you didn't know who they were, correct?
I didn't watch it as a kid. I only learned about it
later.
Once I got into developmental.
Who discovered you as an adult, Jake?
I got discovered by Jerry Briscoe and Jim Ross.
Oh, nice.
No, other Oklahoma alumni. See,
that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
So Jake, now they say all over the all-encompassing internet that you're now that you're not wrestling anymore. You're doing you own a trucking company, but they said your last run in AEW, you just kind of got fed up and said, "That's it. I can't do this anymore." So what's the real scoop here?
Yeah, that's a great story, and there's so many scoops to go along with that. I think, like most wrestlers, I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a career. I mean, I was 17 years long, almost on TV, nonstop. So, like, very blessed to have that. But, like, to get to the end of the career and to have someone like Tony Khan, who's been in this business a cup of coffee and doesn't really know, he can't make himself a sandwich, let alone write a storyline that will last. He can spend a lot of money and make a big debut and make a lot of fireworks, but like in the end run, he's in charge, and like we're supposed to trust him to make storylines that make our careers that we're investing into his company last. It's
is he the only booker there?
Absolutely.
So nobody else contributes? I mean, the guy's got to contribute. I mean,
there's yes men that help him write his storylines, but there's no one there that can tell him no.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, Cody was still there. How was Cody involved in the in the creative process?
I was thinking about that today because I knew we were going to have this conversation, and like I think everything changed after he left because he was involved with it, and after that, it just kind of became a free for all. Young Bucks and Kenny still had a big say in what they were doing. Chris. Obviously, he still had a big say in what he was doing, but even Chris, he would tell me that Tony would not respond to his like messages for like 2 weeks, and so it became a point to where like either AEW is important or it's not, and it just seemed like it was not to him because they stopped doing production meetings, they stopped doing anything to make the show timely. We would be waiting around until like 5 p.m. to find out what we're doing that day. And like, what live television show does that? Only one with money behind it.
So was it Tony Khan who called you, or did you go through agents or something else to get to AEW? Because they put you on a pretty machine style debut, and then they put you in with Jericho. I think you even feuded with Moxley for a little bit, and then they just kind of cooled off on you for no apparent reason. What happened there from what you recall?
The only reason why I got signed with AEW is because of Chris Jericho. So I'm very thankful for that. Tony wanted nothing to do with me because I was from the Fed and he's an indie darling guy. I dare you to argue with me about that. He wants flips and hamburgers and hot dogs and not storylines.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at that.
It's what's called a shoot.
I just found it a little bit humorous. So, but the thing about Tony will shoot an angle and forget about it. You don't see it again for 2 or 3 weeks. That's what I've noticed about him.
To Dutch's point, you went from there was a Jericho Appreciation Society that there was an inner circle. That was the first thing, and you said the Jericho brought you in, and then the Jericho Appreciation Society happened. The inner circle dissolved, and then you went to the JAS, and you were able to invest and make $1 million out of a dime and do the purple hat gimmick, and that ended up standing you out in the group. Was there any plans to make that bigger than what it became, because it became its own groundswell phenomenon?
I'm so mad at that purple hat. It's so much more over than I am.
Hey, use it to your advantage. I mean, did you ever pitch anything to Khan and say, "Hey, man, something's going on here. It's organic"?
Oh, pitch an idea to General Palpatine? Yes. Get the fuck out of here.
So when you pitch, when somebody pitched something to Tony, did he listen, or did he tell him to F off, or what?
If you wanted to pitch an idea, you were at the building at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. after the show was done. You were waiting in line because he had so many other important things to go on. And you never got his full attention. And if you did get his attention, he would give you some kind of bullshit response like, "Oh, I see you like a tag team with Sammy Guevara. Yeah, I don't really see you doing that." And you would have to know Tony to know how I'm speaking about him, but what are you gonna do?
So there's a lot of people who speak very highly of Tony Khan. Why do you think that they would say something like that and speak very well? Do they get paid well, or have you seen people get treated, very well or very fondly from Tony Khan?
Who's saying what?
For example, FTR speaks very highly of Tony Khan.
What do they say?
They just all of the social medias, they just speak very highly to defend.
Do they talk about how he can write a storyline?
They don't say that. No. Don't say that.
Oh, okay.
They speak highly of working with him and him and him being their boss.
What do you think the reason is that there's no, if he's writing the storylines, why not have 2 or 3 people in that, like WWE does? They have a bunch of writers.
Man, that's a great question. I'll sit up for that. You know why? It's because this is his toy box, and nobody else can play with his toys but him. And it's so mind blowing. Tony himself will always talk about, I got so many businesses going on. I got the soccer club in England. I got this other business going on. Either AEW is important or it's not. Like, put some fucking attention on it, and like, don't make us wait till 5 p.m. to know what we're doing that day. So it's just like it's all like, you've been in this business a cup of coffee. You have no idea what you're doing, and you can't admit that you're making mistakes. Admit that you're making mistakes, and then people can work with you. But like, other than that, if you want to act like you're holier than thou and you know everything is perfect in pro wrestling, okay, well then, good luck.
And Bill was offended by what you said, and he dropped off. No, he wasn't. It looks like he's having some issues. There he is. He's like, I don't want to hear you talk like this to AEW.
Oh, he's going to come back now.
Yeah, now
there he is. There he is.
Spiraling there. There he is.
Hey, Bill, if you got mad, just tell us you got mad.
Yeah,
you didn't have to tell us. That was rude.
Yeah,
we didn't know where you went.
Tell us. I mean, you asked hard-hitting questions and then you drop off, Bill. After, come on.
Hey, did the daddy ever come around? Tony's
only
father
happens on this show. I think there's some.
I don't know, but that's a good question. How much was Shad involved in the?
Watch this on the replay to hear Jake's answer.
Yeah, how much was Shad involved in AEW, Jake?
Yeah, he would come around a little bit. He was definitely involved in the beginning. I remember him thanking me for coming on the first night. I also remember the president of TNT graciously thanking me for being involved with this. And it's just funny, But to be involved, he was around. He would come backstage, but I would say once in a blue moon.
As we head out, Jake, what's the PG version of what you can say as far as your overall experience with AEW? But be sure to also give us the truth, just like you've been for the past 30 minutes, and we appreciate it, Jake.
Look, I don't really want to talk about them too much.
Is that the OnlyFans? Is that safe for the OnlyFans? Yeah. So, what can you give like aspiring people who say, "Hey, I want to get to AEW"? What's the reality of that you want to tell them?
Hey, with any job in entertainment, you like, how do I say, you better be prepared to sacrifice a part of your soul. And you better be lucky enough to ride with someone like Dutch Mantell, who can like kind of save you from giving too much of your soul up. I remember in Austin, after I got pulled over for DUI, Undertaker pulled me over and said, he was like, "Hey, this business is only profitable if you're on top." And this is like right when Dutch and I got paired up. And after that, Dutch has a personal relationship with Undertaker. He, gave him his name. And Dutch and I just started riding together, so we didn't know each other too well. And he was like, "All right, let's go." And I was like, "Well, they kind of want us to, stay and watch the whole show." And Dutch was like, "Jake, you can learn more with me riding down the road in 5 minutes about pro wrestling than you can watching this bullshit." And I was like, "Yes, sir. I'm going to go grab my bag."
And we left. And guess what? They didn't say nothing.
And so guess what? I learned a lot.
And we left early every night after that. So
yeah,
they wanted the guys to stand around and watch the matches all night, right? I said, "I'm not doing that." I mean, I didn't tell them that. I just didn't stay around. I just left. And if they'd have said something, I said, "Oh," I would plead ignorance. I'd say, "Oh, I didn't know." Well, hell, they told me that the first day, but I didn't pay attention to it. So, and I told Jack, "You'll learn more with me in a trip than you will here watching these guys 6 months." And he would.
So you can blame Dutch for all my bad behaviors.
Well, I mean, that bad behavior led you to become world champion. So that was good. All right. So here's my last question to you, Jake, before we go. Let's talk about this interesting meteoric rise that you received. Well, it was like a meteoric push. It wasn't necessarily a rise. They had you in a couple mid spots, and then they put you into winning the Elimination Chamber, I believe, and then you defended. You went against, I think it was Alberto Del Rio, right, for the World Heavyweight Championship of WrestleMania. Were there any plans to have you win the title that night?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I definitely heard rumors that they wanted me to, but I also heard that because of the.
Didn't something happen? You got stopped or something that played into it?
Yeah.
Something.
Okay. I got pulled over for a DUI other. I got caught with marijuana, and then everything got dropped. But it was all public news. So
yeah.
Wrestlers always say, "That's it. I'm not doing this anymore." But if that phone call comes from the right people that, hey, we want to do something with you, and we know you've got your own business now, you want to be home with the kids, would you do it again?
Would I do what again?
Would you go back to the business again?
I'm 43 right now, and I feel like I'm noticing changes in my body. So I think it's telling me it's time to grow a mustache like Dutch and let a very beautiful woman ride it.
That's the first time you've ever had that on this show, right, Mr. Chris?
Yes, indeed. It's supposed to be PG, but hey, man, threw that out the window. But so that's very interesting. Could we see you one more time as at least a Royal Rumble surprise guest before you ride off to the sunset in your handlebar mustache?
I sincerely doubt it. I don't think they like me very much.
They being Triple H.
I didn't ask you, Jack. How is your?
Hold on, Dutch. I've got a hard hitting question. They being Triple H. Who are they? You said they don't like you too much.
Whoever books the Royal Rumble.
That would be Triple H, I believe, at this point.
Wait a minute. If Chris Jericho wants to get back in WWE, which a lot of the rumors are saying, he gives you a call and says, "We got to stop you in the Rumble. You coming in?"
We can't hear you very well.
I can't hear it very well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't hear that.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Let's say Chris Jericho goes to WWE to give him an office spot, and he calls you and says he wants in the Royal Rumble. Are you there?
I mean, who wouldn't turn that down? But like, it's not going to be like something I'm going to jump to.
Very nice.
Can I have one last question?
Of course, Dutch Mantell.
Mr. Jack, how is your new business doing right now?
Oh my gosh, it's fucking. I've gone through about 4 drivers right now, so business is slow, but it's exciting.
It'll get better.
It'll get better. I drive the truck part of the time, which is part of being a pro wrestler. Like, we were professional drivers at certain points. You weren't, because you were just riding, but all the driving.
No, but I was supplying information, vital information for your future. That's what I was doing.
Very important information.
Jake, as we go, plug away, man. We have a huge reach at Sportskeeda, and plug away your truck business, man. You got a website?
The truck business is. Oh, whoops! Are those guns on the wall there?
Uh-oh.
Well, this is a shoot interview, so it's okay.
Plug away.
Yeah, Hall and Oates on Instagram. That's about it.
Hall and Oates, like the band.
Yeah, I think I'm witty. It's Hall and Oates.
Okay.
With a LIN, not with the AND.
So I'm trying to spell it so I can put it here on the screen so people can go over to you. HA. So spell again. HAAULIN. Oates.
INC.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
And that's where the Instagram is, right?
Yeah, there's not really much going on the Instagram. It's kind of like a private business, so like I'm trying to turn it into more, but it's a big fucking truck.
We want to support you, man. We definitely want to support you.
How many trucks do you have, Jake?
I have 2 right now, and they're both on the road right now, and so it's, my job right now is more of a logistical matter, like getting them to where they need to go and managing that. Meanwhile, I'm at home with my kids, so that's what I want.
That's what it's all about.
By the way, I don't know if I died out on my internet during my terrible joke when you spilled the gun and I said this is a shoot interview. Okay, we can go over twice.
We can't understand you, Bill.
No.
It might be better.
I'm just gonna blow you a kiss, Bill. I'm sorry I can't hear you.
There you go. Wonderful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get up out of here. This guy right here is Jake Hager. Follow him at The Real Jake Hager. Do you like follow? Do you keep up with your Twitter at all?
Oh, well, the Twitter's been fun today, so I've been on it, but social media to me is a distraction, and so I'm not really on it too much.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Chris, this is my last appearance here.
Man, that sucks. That absolutely sucks, man. Yeah, that sucks. Very much.
After all I've done for Sportskeeda, and they just boot me out the door.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the way they want to play.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything.
No, but I've enjoyed working with you guys.
I've talked to some higher ups, man. I'll put a good word in for you. I'm trying to fight for you.
We got the contract. We got the contract here. We just have to get them to sign it.
Yes.
And then we'll put somebody through a table.
Right, very nice. All right. Hold on. Before you do that, Jake, you got to do that too. You got to do that too, Dutch. 1, 2, 3.
No.
I want every real American in this building and within the sound of my voice to please rise, put your hand over your heart, and in a loud, clear voice, say along with us, we the people. Hey, they stood up. We was in England. Remember that? In Germany and all. They all stood up.
Yes.
I said, what the hell?
Yeah.
Was that a curse word?
No, you're good.
I can say that, right?
Yeah, you're good.
It was part
using that word.
There you go.
It was what?
All right. Gentlemen.
It was part the gimmick, and then it was part everybody loves Dirty Dutch Mantell. So,
yes.
Like you could say anything and get away with it. So keep doing that, please.
Absolutely. We got Dirty Dutch Mantell. We got Jake Hager, former world heavyweight champion, Jake Hager.
In his bed.
Yes, indeed. We got with his ablazing, ladies and gentlemen. We also got Bill Apter. I am Dr. Chris. This is UnSKripted. Have a good night, everybody.
Shoot interview. You get it with the gun?